Well, censorship has struck again. I learned of some things today while I was at work. Needless to say, I am not happy to have learned them. But I warned people, and to be fair, these people all warned the same thing. To be fair, none of these people were ones that, quote unquote, got bit in the ass because they were cheering on censorship. These people were against censorship, and they've become victims of it. So I might be missing a few people. If you know of any more, I mean, drop them in the comments and help get the word out there. But so apparently, I started off seeing this morning that Graham Elwood's channel, I believe, was completely demonetized. He could not monetize any of his content on his show anymore. Okay, so his monetization done. I started off the morning going, yeah, that's a bit concerning. But I was right at going into work, and was definitely looking at like, okay, should there be another censorship topic? But I went on through the day, and then just before I think it was 4 or 5 o'clock, I think it was 5 o'clock is when I saw it. But Franc Analysis demonetized. Convo Couch demonetized. Now, I haven't done any work yet with Fee or Pasta over at the Convo Couch. I've super chatted on their channel. Matter of fact, the last time Franco from Franc Analysis was on their show, I super chatted in a few times to get a couple of points across. I've watched the Convo Couch over the years. I've interacted with their stuff. I haven't had the chance to do any work with them yet. If they're ever interested, I would definitely come on their show anytime they want. As long as I have to work things out. As long as it works out with my work schedule, then we can always make it happen. That's just my biggest challenge with coordinating. A lot of times is getting something that works for them and can work around my work schedule. But me and Franco have worked together a lot. We worked together going all the way back to the early days of when Franco first got into this thing. Me and him were kind of the three originals of what at one point was being pitched as going to be the Power Anthem News Network. Was a brainstorm kind of come up with by Israel from Big Talk Little Talk, and the original 4 members that it was supposed to consist of were Israel, myself, Franco, and Dennis Potvin. Okay. Now, obviously, things kind of separated, went different ways from there. Ed Lee, DJ Elf7, he was a big, proponent. He loved the concept, but the name was never really used. But me and Franco have been doing work for years. I've been on Franco's show multiple times. I've never brought him on my show, and that's just namely because between what I do with work, the way I do interviews, when I interview someone, there's a lot of editing involved in that. And honestly, I barely get time to do the edits for these videos that I put together. And I don't put like hours upon hours. Well, if I have to put hours of editing into it, it starts to become problematic for me getting a lot of the things done between work, personal life, and this. So it kind of starts to bog me down a lot. And that's why I already don't record on a daily basis. So I don't really bring many people on my show to interview, but I'd be more than happy if they want to work together to go on to their show. Okay? So that's the only reason I've never had Franco on this show. I am, however, just letting everyone know, I am going to be putting an interview together that I'm going to be working on doing this Friday. This gentleman does not have a YouTube channel. He's open to do an interview. I'm not going to say who it is yet, but I'm going to be trying to set up something with him for this coming Friday. But I digress. Back to the focus, the censorship. Me and all the people that I just mentioned warned when they were cheerleading on all these people like the Humanist Report, when people like Sam Cedar, when it was people like David Pakman, TYT, when they were all out there cheering on this kind of censorship, and then all these people who follow what they do and believe that their message is one of truth. They're out there like, oh, no. It's just these companies using their right to refuse service to a disruptive person, basically. They're disrupting the peace. They're inciting violence. They're violating terms of service. And so they have a right to refuse them service. And, of course, you all know, if you've watched my videos, how I feel about that. I feel that, okay, now you're the left wing making the same argument for big tech companies that right-wingers made for a small-town cake baker, yet you were pissed off that a guy wouldn't bake a cake, and you're defending big tech companies who have a monopoly on social media. They don't allow competitive platforms, and yet they're censoring what people have to say. Now, the Convo Couch has been kind of off and going for some time. I'm not sure exactly how long they've been monetized, but I know this is a massive gut punch to my good friend Franco. Franco just had explosive growth with his channel, okay? He was right there kind of in the same range as me for a long time, and you can see clearly where I'm still at. He inched above me, and then I'm not sure if it was something he did on his channel or because I also know he's a contributor to the HMO podcast, okay? And when I think they had a video that went real viral or something. I forget what it was about, but I'm not sure if that had something to do with it or if it was some other reason, but his channel really took off. And he went over 1,000 subscribers. And then he hopped to 2,000 subscribers, and I think he just crossed 3,000 subscribers, if I'm not mistaken. I haven't looked at his numbers since I got off work to verify that, but I remember seeing something about I think he sent out a thank you tweet for getting over 3,000 subscribers, okay? So he's been having a massive growth with his channel. He's gotten people like Jank Uger to respond to him when he called Jank out on Twitter. He's gotten responses from people like him. He's gotten responses from people like Figueredo when he called both of them out for not supporting Force the Vote. Okay. He's gotten, and here's a good notable one, Tim Black. He got responses from Tim Black for calling him out too. So Franco has been doing really great things. Now, you know, I've been on a show. We probably disagree on certain issues. We agree on a lot of the issues. Franco is a good friend of this channel. And I know that this has to be hitting him hard. But that being said, a lot of us knew something like this was going to happen. And unfortunately, I think it's time for us as indie media creators, if you can find a way to bypass getting your money from YouTube and you can withstand that, that's great. And I hope that someone like Franco can. But in my case, I'm already braced for the fact this is probably never going to make any money. It's probably not. First of all, I'm being throttled to the point that it is a battle just to get to 1,000 subscribers. So and even then, should you get to 1,000 subscribers, go check some of the indie media channels out who did get to 1,000 subscribers. They throttle your shit so bad that your subscribers sometimes don't even know that you've put videos up like that, and it's got nothing to do with them not clicking the bell. It's just simply they're unsubbing people sometimes. They're throttling your stuff back so no new people will find it. Like you're gaining, if you gain in subscribers, your views are not steadily reflecting the subscriber count. It's just not happening. It's just not happening. You know, now you might say some of it's because people got disengaged from your channel and just never unsubscribed. Maybe so. Maybe that is the case for some. But overall, you're not going to convince me there's no YouTube shenanigans at work because look what they're pulling right now. Look at the censorship that they're literally pulling right before your very eyes right now with demonetizing these channels. Now, if you're going to tell me that it's just because they are violating some term of service, I don't buy that. I don't buy that at all. I'm going to tell you, in my opinion, from what I can see, what it's coming down to. They want to shut indie media up. And so if you want to remain in indie media, I've already determined I'm going to have to be a blue-collar guy more than likely the majority of my life, if not all my life. Am I ashamed of that? No. Am I sad about that? No. I mean, everyone's got dreams. But as long as I'm able to make a living supporting my family, even if it's not by doing this, it is what it is. I've been doing this now for over a year, and it's a hobby of mine. This is just a passion that I have for politics, and so I'll come on this channel and I'll do what I'm doing right now. And if it's not making any money, so be it. And I think that that's going to be an unfortunate truth for some of these other creators. Now, good thing for people like Franco is they've also got people platforms like Rockfin as a backup. It would be nice if Rockfin would be willing to let more people on their platform to do these sorts of things. But, you know, I've applied for Rockfin multiple times, and all I get is emails back to watch this, watch that. They clearly have shown no interest in bringing me on as a content creator. Man, if they don't, I mean, it is what it is. The big thing here is this is the censorship we warned about. And again, everyone was like, no. It's just company enforcement of policy. Now it's coming clear. This isn't just targeting right-wingers and insurrectionists. Now they're going after indie media, left-wingers, independents, whatever. They're coming after you. They're coming after any dissenting voice from what the status quo has to say. If you're not out there on your hands and knees with puckered lips, applying chapstick, ready to smooch the big status quo ass, they're coming after you. And if they're not after you yet, it's a matter of time before they get there. Sooner or later, they will get there. Now, the first thing we're encountering is the demonetization of channels. Well, to all the lovely fuckers at YouTube, if you want to kick me off, go right the fuck ahead. Be my guest. Okay? You'll take away my passion. I've invested a lot of money into setting this up. But you know what? If you want to do it, go right ahead, because you're clearly going to fucking do it anytime you want to anyway. So fuck you, all you assholes. If you want to, go right ahead. I challenge you. Go right the fuck ahead. Show the world what kind of prick little fucking douchebags you are to silence voices, because they're out here trying to tell the truth that mainstream news doesn't tell. When we're out here trying to talk about Julian Assange because CNN won't, because Anderson Cooper won't, because Cuomo won't, because Stelter won't, because Wolf won't, because Maddow won't, because O'Donnell won't, because Morning Joe won't, because Fox and Friends won't. But the closest damn thing you're going to get to is fucking Tucker Carlson. We have a purpose here. And you fuckers don't like it. Because we are not bought off by corporate fucking stooges. Like you fucks are. So if you want to kick me off for telling the fucking truth, you go right ahead and show how big and tough you fucking little shits in Silicon Valley are. Go right ahead. Silence some more people. Flex your fucking muscle. You're only going to piss more people in this country off playing your little fucking games, YouTube. Go ahead. Flex your muscle a little fucking harder. Because I'm not monetized on this channel anyway. I'm just a little bitty fucking channel. And you know you can bully around channels like mine. You know you can. You know you can do it and get away with it because we don't have the support that big channels like Jimmy Dore have. And that's not a knock against Jimmy Dore. You're just not willing to fuck with one that big because you know what the pushback's going to look like. But guess what? It's only a matter of time. If people keep allowing these little ones to get picked off, they will start to slowly chip away at the Jimmy Dores of the world. They just got to build a big enough case against someone like Jimmy Dore. And that case very well could be to attack the small ones, piss so many people off, cause more problems, more riots in the streets, more protests or whatever, piss enough people off to cause more civil unrest because of the continuing censorship, and then say that people like Jimmy Dore are the figurehead of it all, so now we have to take you down too. It's fucking coming. If you think the demonetization is where this shit stops, you're wrong. They will eventually come for your channel next. If demonetizing you don't work, because that's strategy number one. They think you're banking on making money off of this. And that if you are, we're going to anaconda your ass, strangle your finances. You can't make money anymore. And so maybe you'll take the fucking hint that you're just not passionate enough to do this for a hobby. This is nothing but finance to you. And so if it is, that you'll just give it the fuck up. Not everybody's going to. You're not going to get me to give it up. I'm not making money off this shit anyway. I'm not. You know why? You've been throttling me back and I hadn't got there. I'm just doing this because I don't like the two-party duopoly. I don't like the war machine. I don't like Big Pharma. I don't like locking up journalists who told the truth. I don't like going after people who exposed that our government was spying on us. I'm for freedom. I'm against tyranny. I'm a voice that needs to be heard in this country. And you fuckers don't want that. You don't want people to think for themselves. You don't want a society to think outside of what your propaganda tells them they are supposed to think. And so you think if you cut their money off, you're going to silence them. Well, you're not silencing me. I never had the money to start with. So it definitely ain't going to work for me. Furthermore, proof that this is nothing but a ploy to just try to get them to stop is there's telling people like Franco, I assume Convo Couch and Grammar in the same category here, they can reapply for monetization in 30 days. 30 days they can reapply for monetization. And they recommend maybe delete some of the videos that go against our policy or whatever, our standards and practices. Okay? Well, that'd be mighty nice if you told them what videos were violating. But see, they don't. They leave that open to speculation and interpretation. So what the fuck's he going to do? Because every damn thing on that channel has been against the status quo. I got a feeling I know which ones in particular they're really hot under the collar about, especially considering Convo Couch was on the list. Probably stuff with the election, because remember they said if you're questioning the election, we're going to possibly remove your videos, right? So the election thing could be one. The second one, and this could be the main one actually, is the Wall Street bets and the Robinhood thing. Because these are elites. These are big tech companies. Okay? And with what happened with Wall Street bets and the Reddit crew, they have a fear. Anybody with all this money, all these hedge fund type people, they've got a fear. They figured out, little people have figured out a way to fight back and win. And their asses are puckering. So anyone that could be talking about that could be what's on the list. You could be next to be attacked, quite simply. And you're not going to convince me that that's not the reason that some of these, now it could be reasons beyond that, but I definitely think that had a reason to do with it. I definitely think it had a big reason with why they've been demonetized this way. And like I said, it's only a matter of time before, if that doesn't work, cutting your money off doesn't work, that they just come in to try to shut your channel down altogether. That'll be the next move. So that's a good reason why I would encourage people like Rockfin to open your arms up to more content creators. Seriously. People need to be able to turn to somewhere to be able to do these sorts of things, right? I mean, outside of Rockfin, you got Rumble, BitChute, Odyssey. You know, like, you don't have a ton to truly compete with outside of YouTube, right? So people like Rockfin should definitely open their arms up. You know, people like Franco and them have been fortunate. But they're going to come after me. So that's why I went ahead and told YouTube, if you want to, go on ahead and do it. Show how tough you are. Flex your muscle. I know it's only a matter of time before you do. Because you can't pull my money away to shut me up. And even if I cross 1,000 subscribers, little do you know, I already work. I'm not going to put all my eggs in the basket of content creating. I'm not. I'm going to continue to blue-collar work probably. That way I can ensure you can't screw me out of my wealth. The only way you're going to be able to do that is if you find a way to possibly threaten my job somehow or another. That's the only ace card you could pull on me. But just know, if you pull it, I'll let people know that that's what you did. The day I stop making videos, I'll be letting certain people know that's why. It's because I had to make a choice between me and my family and our income versus getting a message out there. So that's your only ace card on a guy like me. But I know damn well you're not above pulling one like that if you can. Clearly. You don't want truth tellers. You want propagandists. You don't want an informed society. You want zombies. And so this is your warning shot. This is your shot across the bow to people like the Convo Couch, Franc Analysis, Graham Elwood. Shut your mouth, because we're on your ass. And if you don't, well, you were warned. Next goes your channel. Just like they did to the last American vagabond. It's coming. It's coming. One thing you have to say for Donald Trump. I didn't vote for Trump this time around. I don't think Trump was a good choice. But with Joe Biden and Kamala Harris being in the White House now, and the Democrats in control of the House, and really in control of the Senate, with Kamala Harris being the deciding vote, censorship is about to get real bad. Real bad. Real bad in this country. The one good thing that could have possibly came out of Trump staying in office would have been he had such a grudge himself against the tech companies that he would have been able to use his power to possibly try to rein them in and keep them in check if they pissed him off enough. But now that he's out of office, they got carte blanche to do whatever the fuck they want, and the Biden administration is going to stamp every bit of it. They don't give a shit. You know why? Because the Biden administration has no friend in people like us anyway. Now, if he ever did something good, I'd be honorable enough to give him credit. But let's be honest, we all know he does so much damn bad, that's probably what he's going to get, is a fuck ton of criticism. So he's no fan of mine. They know I'm no fan of his. So he would just rubber stamp it all. They don't give a shit about freedom of speech. They don't give a shit about honest voices. They don't give a shit about real news reporting. What they give a shit about is keeping the narrative under their thumb and their control and putting people back to sleep because they're afraid too many might start to wake the hell up. So I think it's time we as content creators start to wake the hell up too. Shit is going to get very, very ugly before long.